So, e-bikes. Do you want one? Are you thinking about buying one? And more importantly, do you need one? So now, having had an e-bike for about 9 months, I think it is now, thought I'd do this little video just in case anyone out there's thinking about potentially buying an e-bike. There's upsides, but there's always downsides. So what we'll do is we'll start with the downsides.
Danger! Danger! High voltage!
So first of all, cost. So of course, it's an e-bike. It's the same as any normal bike, but there's more to it. Depending on if you're wanting a hardtail, you're probably looking at prices starting around 2,200 for an half decent bike upwards. For a suspension bike, probably looking at nearer the £3,000 mark, and then anything up to you can spend over 10 grand, which is just ludicrous. But you buy whatever you need basically. So maintenance. So with an e-bike, it weighs more. So, and with the increase of torque that you're putting through everything, you're going to wear your chain twice as quick. You're going to wear the cassette twice as quick. Your chain ring twice as quick. Probably going to use your brake pads twice as quick because of the increased weight. But the good side is the price of all these bits, if you've already got a bike, pretty much the same, but you will end up replacing them twice as quick. So reliability, you've got more to brake. Obviously you've got the electrical side of it as well as the mechanical side that you have on a normal bike. If you buy brand new, everything's usually covered for 2 years, so you don't need to worry. Now I've looked into replacement motors when the warranty runs out. On the Bosch Performance 6 that I've got on my bike, looking at about 800 quid for a brand new motor, which I don't think it's the end of the world, but it's something that you need to keep in mind, that after 2 years, if that motor breaks and it's not fixable, that is potentially a big bill. So one thing you're going to come across when you mention you've got an e-bike, or people seeing you've got an e-bike, is you're going to get called a cheat. Now, me personally, I couldn't care less. I think a bit of this is misinformation. So I think a lot of people think that you've got an electric bike, you just press a button and off you go. That's not true unless you have got one of those. But if you've got a mid-drive bike or even a rear hub bike, majority of them are pedal assist, which means no pedaling, no movement. It's exactly the same as riding a normal bike, except they're heavier. And on top of that, it's up to you. It's up to the entire person that wants to ride it, however much assistance they want to have. So you could go out on a ride, you could turn it off if you want. I found whenever I've been riding a lot, and as my fitness gets better, that I generally ride it in eco for pretty much all the ride, even turning it off to extend the battery life. Or if you're feeling a bit knackered because you've had a couple of rides that week and your legs are a bit sore and you're not right feeling going out and killing yourself because you've got work tomorrow, stick it in turbo, go blasting out, go do your ride. You'll still get the cardio side of it, but you'll come back and you won't have jelly legs. So it's up to you. You know, you can use it as much as or as little as you want. When you're out riding with your other mates, again, you can either ride at their pace, which is generally what I do. The only time I ever sort of leave them standing is if when we get to an hill, because I just don't see it point in me pedalling slow. up a hill, which is harder than it is to just pedal faster and get up the hill and then wait at the top. It also means that I'm getting a workout because my legs are going 10 to a dozen to get up the hill. So I'm getting my cardio in. But people still don't look on them and say that it's cheating. But I think these people have either been riding for a long time, so they have really good fitness, or maybe they just like having dead legs. But it's not for me. I tried it, kind of enjoyed it, which is what led me on to getting an e-bike, because it meant that the bike took away the bit that I didn't like about riding, which is pedalling up hills. Some people like it. I think they're all mad. I hate it. A lot of people hate it. It slows you down. It knackers you. Takes away a bit of the fun. But it's each to their own.
Not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be.
So the upsides of owning an e-bike. So as you can see from the next couple of videos, hill climbing is an absolute doddle. This is where an e-bike absolutely shines. So riding uphill over, whether it's just gravel, whether it's you're going up to a trail, fire roads, mud, anything, you put an e-bike into the top setting and pedal like your life depends on it. The only thing that's going to stop you is if that back wheel spins. Other than that, you're getting to the top of the hill. So as you'll see in this video, I gave my two friends a head start. I stuck it into turbo and off I went. So as you'll see, Nathan in a second spins, nearly falls down the hill. Lee, he spins up, and I just went straight past him, giggling like a little kid. Did I feel guilty? Not really. I was too busy laughing. Now another plus for having an e-bike is speed. So on a ride, you'll probably average 2 to 3 mile an hour across your entire ride faster than on a normal bike. Or that's what I generally find that I do. And that is purely because when you get to the hills, you're not going to slow down as much as you would do on an analogue bike. So you will find that you'll complete your rides quicker on an e-bike generally than you would on a normal mountain bike. Off-road, you'll cover ground a bit quicker. So if ground's soft, or if it's muddy, again you can put it up a level and you'll just plough on straight through. So that is another big plus. The only downside to that is that you will end up waiting for friends that are on analogue bikes. But it's not really been a big issue for me. It just gives me a couple of minutes breather while they catch up. So having an e-bike, naturally, I believe you'll ride a lot more than you would do on an analogue bike. So, those days when you get home from work and you thought about going out, but you're a bit tired and you don't really want to go out and kill your legs when you've got work again next day, you can just basically put the settings up to whatever you want. Go off, do 15 mile, come home, you'll have done your cardio, but you won't have killed your legs. So, should you buy one? I think that comes down to personal preference. So, if you're young, you're fit, you're probably not going to need one. If you're getting on in life, or you only get to ride every now and then, like on a weekend, your fitness ain't great, you find it a bit demoralising, trying to keep up with other friends that are fitter, they're probably aimed more at you. Or, ultimately, if you are fit, and you only get to do 2 runs, and you want to do 4 or 5 runs at a bike park, then chances are you're going to get more runs in. Ultimately, it's going to come down to whatever's going to suit you. I love mine, worth every penny that I've paid for it. Absolutely love it. Gets me out, makes me go out more than I would have ever done on a normal bike. I ride with my friends that don't have e-bikes. No issues there. I just go at their pace. If I go out on my own, again, like I've said before, I do 2 to 3 mile an hour higher on average when I'm out on my own, but I don't go out racing other people, so I just take it as it comes. If I'm out on my own, I go at my own pace. If I'm out with other people, I go at their pace. So if you're thinking about buying one, I would probably say rent one, try friends out. Chances are, if you're anything like me, you'll try one and you'll instantly not want to ride your normal bike anymore, and you'll order one if you can even find one for sale. But ultimately, I think you need to try before you buy. But I think the majority of people that try one will end up buying one.
It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake